Okay, so hello YouTube and welcome to another little showcase of my game. Now I'm at the point now where I'm beginning to think about crowdfunding and sourcing additional funds, because I've gone as far as my little consumer laptop can go, and I really need to get a proper tower PC and a proper graphics card. So part of that is obviously I'm going to need to showcase the game at some point. So here we go. So here's a brief playthrough of some of the features in the current pre-alpha that I've got so far. So naturally, the frame rate's going to be a bit janky and the resolution's a bit low because obviously, as I say, the laptop's pretty terrible. So just lighting a cigarette. So as you can see, you play the role of an office janitor. Now everything is interactable pretty much. I think like 95% of the items you can interact with. As you can see, the trash and things like that will leave stains on the floor wherever you drop them. So it is very important that you be careful with what you're doing, guys. You know what I mean? So this is the trolley. Now you don't put stains when you drop items in the trolley. So the idea is that you fill up the trolley and use that to get to the trash chute and use the flashlight to look in dark places. So as I say, the game's called Minimum Wage, and you play the role of an office janitor. So you're tasked with cleaning up this place, and that includes putting away these little caution signs here. So you can throw them around with the middle click. Right click picks up stuff, and the middle click throws it around. Left click is reserved for other things like you will see later on. So you can use the E key to open doors. And scattered around the level will be these various notes that give you a bit of backstory and information about what's going on. The idea is that you can either do your job and buy your freedom just by earning enough money to buy yourself out to the next level, or you can snoop around and find information out about people and use that to blackmail your way out instead. And there you go. There's using the flashlight to look in the dark places. The tutorial is handled by these little 3D cell phones that come up. And as you can see here, what I'm doing is using the scrubbing brush to demonstrate how to clean up any stains that you might encounter or make yourself. So you just kind of like take the brush, the scrub, and you just kind of touch it to the stains. Now these are interesting. These are poops. So obviously, there you go. I got some poop on my face. Now that is a feature that can happen. You know, you can get poop on you. So what you're gonna need to do if you get poop on you is go over here to the bathroom and just hit the E key and wash it off. So that's one of the features of the game, is like obviously the junk items will drop stains. So you can wash yourself off if you get them any on you. Now these gloves, you're gonna need those to pick up the poops, because obviously that's, if you pick them up with your bare hands, that's why I got poop on me, because I didn't have the gloves on. And now I've got a choice, like I've got to put the poop down. So now I've got to create a stain because I wasn't thinking it through. So I just put that there and pop the poop in there, and we'll deal with that stain later. Every time you dispose of an item or put something away or clean up something, you get paid a little money. But every time you create a splat on the ground, it costs you money. So as you can see, my profits currently are in the negative, because that is obviously your current wage minus whatever costs and damages you've got. So here's a little demonstration of the basic idea of how this goes. So you go to a desk, you clear it out, and while you're clearing it out, you can have a good rummage through the drawers, see if you can find stuff up. Like pretty much anything is interactable, and you can pick up anything. So anything that's junk, rubbish, you just kind of grab, take it to the trolley, load up the trolley, and then once you're done, you take the trolley, dispose of the trash, and then use the scrubbers to clean up any stains that are at the desk. And then once that desk's done, you move on to the next one. So here I'm just very carefully loading up the trolley. As you can see, the frame rate is pretty terrible, like I said, and I'm having to run it at a pretty low resolution just to get any kind of visually appealing frame rate out of it. So again, this is one of the reasons why I'm trying to get funding for better equipment. So look out for a Kickstarter, maybe a Patreon. I currently have a StreamJar set up so that it can accept donations while I'm streaming, but I believe you can donate anytime, so there'll probably be a link in the description for that. So we filled up the trolley. We're just going to push it down here, and then we'll slam the brakes on. a feature that was actually requested by one of the playtesters, so we incorporated that. So actually, the tap thing was another suggestion from a playtester, and there is an item later on, because you can craft items in this to make the gameplay a little bit smoother. Not smoother, but a little bit more interesting, shall we say. So very shortly I will demonstrate the sponge Zuka. And the idea is obviously that, you know, you'll have a limited ammo capacity for it, and you can purchase more ammo from the sales station, but obviously the money comes out of your profits, so you've got to kind of weigh up the desire to get this job done quicker against how much money that's going to cost you, and is that going to make it take longer overall, you know what I mean? So just cleaning up those stains that I made. You don't get quite as much money back for a stain that you made when you clean it up, so it will always keep you in the negative. Even if you clean every one up, you will still end up losing money, so you do have to be careful. I'm just cleaning up some of the footprints and throwing the sponge. And one of the features that one of the playtesters did was that they were throwing the sponge around a lot, and hence the sponge Zuka. So you just saw the recipe for it there, and you know, in typical gameplay fashion, you'd be like, oh, I know, I've seen that somewhere before. So you just go drag that, pop it on the table, and then we need the other component, which was a hairdryer. So let's look in this feminine-looking desk here. Oh yeah, there's a hairdryer there. So we're going to go and combine those and pick that up. And there we go, now we've got a sponge Zuka. So now we can launch the sponges with some velocity at the stains. And obviously there's no crosshairs, so, you know, you might miss a few, but that's kind of the point, really, isn't it? You know, you gotta get those costs raised. Gotta squeeze the money out the player. You know, you gotta force them. If you make every shot count, then the profits per clip are going to be too high. So, you know, it's all in the gameplay balance. It's all in the gameplay balance. But yeah, this is why I'm ready to get the pre-alpha out there now, because I think I need more people to playtest it and give me feedback. But obviously, to continue the project, I do need more funds and simply just a better development PC, really. Like, as you can see, at medium settings, I'm having a lot of struggle getting a decent frame rate out of this. And the game can look drastically different at ultra than it does at medium, so if I can't see whether settings are functioning properly and then I release a game, everyone's like, what the fuck? So here's a good example of wasting time, missing stains in the coffee cup. Oh look, I've wasted all that ammo on them now. I'm going to give up in a minute and try something else. Watch this, gonna shoot that one. So we know it's working. So I'm just kind of, there we go. Last one as well. Got it with the last bullet. So now I'm gonna go over to the sales station, I believe. No, I'm gonna take the trolley back. Okay. So the E key turns the brake on and off. There you go. Nice little sound effects for that. So just gonna check this desk, grab that burger. And so yeah, this is basically the core gameplay. Essentially, you're just a minimum wage office assistant. And maybe you get disillusioned with your job and you decide to go rummage through everyone's drawers instead. Maybe you can dig up some dirt on them. This is my my own little cubicle that I modeled after me. So you've got some screenshots of the Unreal Engine editor window in there, a Game Boy, some coffee, world's best boyfriend mug, because obviously I am. And like all the drawers have got stuff in for the most part, so it is always worth having a look around, because you might find something cool or some dirt on one of the employees. This is Technocrat's desk. He was very kind enough to let me use some of his pixel art, so I decided to give him his own little desk with video games and comic books and all that cool stuff. Didn't make it too messy either. As you can see there, like pretty much everything is interactable. You can pick it up, throw it around. I'm just gonna throw some files around, some books, grab the comic there, throw that around, a couple of pencils, why not? The pencils fly off everywhere, the stapler, the files, everything is, you can just play with everything. You can make the office as tidy or as untidy as you like. This guy has just found out his girlfriend's pregnant, so he's got like sonograms and stuff in the drawers, trying to tell stories about the various people who work here through the little interactions. And here's a note. It's basically saying from the girl that he got pregnant, saying the baby isn't his. So he exacted his revenge, and obviously, you know, you'd find that out by looking at the owner of this death. Like, this person's called Karen. The note was signed from Karen to John. So, you know, on the box it says from John to Karen. And try to tell stories about the people who work in this place, so that you can build up a repertoire, like relationship bars with them, almost like the mood bars on The Sims, where you can either make them super happy and then they'll recommend you if you get enough people, and then obviously you need 3 people to do that, or say you blackmail them, you find out all this stuff about them, and a lot of the instructional notes are also pinned to the wall of that. So like in here, there's a note. I haven't really finished this area. It's been recently added, so a lot of the desk drawers don't have stuff in them yet. But yeah, here's a note from Karen to the boss. And basically from that you can figure out that she's had an affair with the boss, that's the boss's child that she's pregnant with. You know what I mean? Like, you could look over all that stuff and not even notice any of it, or you could get immersed in it. So here I'm gonna try and buy my freedom, but unfortunately I don't have enough money. That save button is actually in the right place on full screen. It just looks weird in the editor. So yeah, that was a brief look at what I've got so far. So please, by all means, if you do want to see that game come to fruition, see the project continue, then throw some support my way. Like I say, I'll probably set up a Patreon and a Kickstarter at some point, and then I'll throw links in the description at that point. But until then, there is just my stream jar. Obviously, anyone who does contribute will be credited. I'll figure that out at some point. Getting the game finished is my main priority right now. So yeah. If you enjoyed that and you want to stay updated, then go ahead and like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.